What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the not building a granary on your starting hunt action, because that's how good this Zeus player in the blue color is. Skady. I love it. I love it. I'm a big fan. And guess who else didn't do it, but then just chose to do it afterwards? Magic. He can delete this one, though. Yeah, never ever build a granary on your chickens. Never ever build a granary on your chickens. But for some reason, build a granary on your berries instead. I thought this was giraffe. I thought this was giraffe. Oh dear, the giraffe are down the bottom. It is only a 2 giraffe spawn. So, turns out, after all is said and done, building the granary on the chickens is going to be a necessary evil. I love Age of Mythology. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't know if, yeah. There's actually a fair amount of zebra here, actually. So, yeah, we are seeing Magic has stolen a couple of goats over here. How many goats has everyone got? The zebra have been found on this spot here. What? Just let it just, oh no. Much food is left here. Oh dear. I'll give you some tips here for those of you who are like me, frustrated about hunt placement and always want your hunt to be really good. If you shoot the zebra trying to push it back to your granary and it doesn't come to your granary, wait until it stops and then shoot it away from the granary. What'll happen is it'll go outside of its position where it's okay with sitting, and then it'll come back to its starting spawn location. So that way you can basically guarantee you to have good hunt placement on your granary, so long as the other way to do it is to obviously shoot the giraffe and just take a loss at maybe the giraffe being here instead, which might be the actual better way to do it. As the village is moving over onto this position, do find the zebra, and he will be eating those there as well as the granary going to get placed down. This is going to be a very, very awkward awkward opening for both players, which really changes the way that this matchup is going to go. Because, like, if you were to play a Zeus versus Zeus, if you were to play a Zeus mirror on a map which starts with 1,000 food in your main base, you're basically going to be seeing the players going for an aggressive opener. Because if you don't go for an aggressive opener in this matchup, you're probably going to be behind in this game, because you can just go for such high quality aggressive openings with 1,000 food. But if you don't have that food in your starting line of sight and things get a little bit awkward for you, now those aggressive plays are kind of off the table. So grabbing town centers becomes kind of the best and only option. Even insofar as maybe you don't even want to go for centaur here early. So we'll see. Magic. The zebra comes back. Look, this is what I mean. If it gets moved outside of it's like, okay. Oh, no. So, Skady, no. Oh, it's going to be perfect and you ruined it. Oh, God. It's not that bad, but it's not that good. Yeah, this one will move back home as well. Oh, God. Oh, no. Skady just hates his... Skady hates his hunt. He just hates his hunt. Thanks for showing me the point here. We did actually make a point in tournaments that you're actually not allowed to attack your opponent's hunt unless you intend to eat it in the archaic age. You can attack it in the classical age. The reason is because certain gods like Set and obviously Greek can come through and ruin a player's hunt and actually kill their hunt before they even get there. And it's really, really unfortunate. It's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. I mean, Magic has come from a place where players basically just abuse everything. Age of Empires 4 maybe doesn't have these rules. I remember when I played Age of Empires 4 at launch, players were like fish deleting, which is obviously something we say no hunt deleting. People were fish deleting on on Age of Empires 4 at the launch. I'm not sure what the rules are now around that or if it got fixed. But we'll see how things are going. As the Jason starting to move forward, we do have a Scales of Helepolis here. Not really that useful of a relic here as this villager. Will it go down? Will it go down? The Centaur chasing it down. Bolt onto the Magic Centaur, and Magic says, you know what? Instead of losing a Centaur, I'm just gonna bolt you as the Jason. Gonna come forward. Can the Jason get in here? Does he pick off Scales of Helepolis? No. Will he get the Jason in to hit that low HP villager? Where's the Katoska boss? Send that one in. That 1 damage per second would have been able to kill this villager. And Magic's like, no, run away, run away, run away, run away. And, oh, yeah, no villager's going to go down here, it seems. As the villagers can just dive into the town center, get some damage done. And the Odysseus is going to be running away there. And we'll see how the game's going to go because both players, as I said, in this sort of a situation, it's just not worth it to go for Centaur because it's just such a late advance time. It's not worth it to go for an aggressive play because it's just such a late advance time because of the map. It does make an interesting argument about these sorts of spawns. Maybe you guys can let me know what you guys think in regards to map consistency to some degree. What do you guys reckon about having these sorts of spawns where hunt isn't in your line of sight to start with? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I'm kind of impartial to it because I don't really mind either way. It gives you some really different types of games that happen. As we do see Skady, he still hasn't learnt the windmill formation. Anomi says he can't stand it personally. There you go. I do think that there's a divide maybe between top players and maybe like the middle level players or even casual players about Age of Mythology. Like if you watch a player like, okay, so Fitzbro came back, for example. Well, didn't come back, but Fitzbro's an Age of Empires 4 streamer. Also streams all of the Age of Empires series. And he came back and he was trying to learn the game. And it's like watching a player learn Age of Mythology is much, much harder than watching a player learn Age of Empires 4, for example. Because in Age of Empires 4, you can learn one build order and then you can basically play on every single land map. Whereas in Mythology, you learn one build order and you're like, hang on, I spent all this time learning this build order and now I'm playing on Oasis and I've got no hunt. How do I deal with that? So it can be quite challenging. It can be quite challenging for new players there. So I'm interested in what you guys think about that. It's also kind of challenging for top players as well, if I'm actually completely honest here, as we do see little bits of raids coming. A villager snipe. I wasn't paying attention to the game, as the storehouse coming up on this position as well. And we'll see what's happening here as the walls coming down, more farms coming up as well. And Jason and Odysseus searching around for something to do here as the wall's going to finish up. And we're going to see a fairly, I would say we're going to see a fairly late game, a fairly boomy game here. Skady, as opposed to the last game where Magic went up to 3 town centers first, Skady seems to have gone for the 3 town centers first in this one, and we'll see how much of a difference that's going to make. Skady probably going to have somewhere in the vicinity of 3 to 4 more village, probably 5 more villages than Magic is going to have, which is somewhere in the vicinity of 300 resources a second not 300 resources a second, 300 resources a minute, which will give him a bit of an advantage, but I would go in so far to say it's not going to be that big, and you can mostly make up for that with strong play, as Skady here losing some villagers, trying to get those walls up here to find that advantage. A little bit aggressive on that one, and I love that Magic is checking that location out. But while he prevents the walls over there, unable to stop the walls on this position here. As both players just booming up, and we'll see what's going to happen, because like when these sorts of positions, you can't, like, what are you supposed to do? You can't really be aggressive. Magic is throwing down a military academy and an archery range. The thing is here that Skady, what he can do here is he can actually ignore military and just go for archers and defend here. You don't need to build a single infantry unit in this game. You don't need to. You don't need to build infantry. You don't need to build a single cavalry unit in this game either, because you can just build walls, and as the army comes through, you can just defend behind the walls, shoot them up, and by the time any real sort of fighting is starting, you can even get towers up here and get crenellations to prevent this position from happening, skipping any real necessity for hippikon, and you can go straight into that bonkers unit composition of Toxotes Helepolis, which is literally unbeatable for any composition with the exception of hippikon, which then also gets beaten if you have a handful of towers up with those Toxotes and Helepolis sitting there. So it's I do think there's a little bit of a toxic element to Age of Mythology in that is a unbeatable composition for Greek players. What I would love to see, and interesting to see what it would look like, would be no crenellations, or not no crenellations, but crenellations doesn't give a boost to damage versus cavalry, in which case that composition would then be able to get countered by mass hippikon. But that would be a design change that I don't think is within the realms of a Vubly balance patch, so we would never really see that. So the only other way to kind of deal with that sort of situation would be to start saying, all right, we're gonna nerf the Helepolis, which might be another way to go, or even nerf the Toxotes, which might be another way to go. But also that might not even be a problem with having just one straight unit composition, which is really, really strong. I'm not 100% sure what the right answer is there. But there's lots of options to go down. And Skady, obviously, here, he is looking to go to the next stage. Walls literally just coming up everywhere. He is taking his time here, mining this gold mine. He can leave this gold if he wants to. More walls coming up over here. I love this play from Skady. Magic is going to try and get some value with his army here as more military buildings are coming up. We do see a stable up for Skady, but he really does not need to do anything without his Apollo coming through. I'd love to see Bowsaw coming in nice and early here as well for Skady. Like we said in the last game, Bowsaw is really strong. The villagers here need to retreat back, and they will be doing so behind this location here. As Magic's army going to come through. Skady a little bit behind on the population here as the villagers are just hanging out on this position. There's a beautiful gold mine over here that he can run to as well if he so chooses. There is a ceasefire as well if he wants to use that. I'm always a fan of the idea of get technologies, get economic technologies, get villages, get town centers, and then when the timing hits, click ceasefire and then spam out your units to defend it, because you can build out a full population army in a minute there very easily if you're set up to do so with military buildings. As the Toxotes coming through here, villagers going to be retreating into the town center. Magic gets a little bit of damage done, but Skady's got the timing here. He's got the advantage going to the next stage. He's getting himself Bowsaw and Shaft Mine at this moment. So we do see a raid coming through on the front here. Skady getting caught out of position here in a big way. I think he needs to click ceasefire at this point. He was not paying attention. In fact, I wasn't paying attention there either. And Magic manages to get a little bit of a raid there with that army, which should be kind of it's a little bit of an unexpected raid to say the very least, but it shouldn't really be happening because he's got the walls up there to tell him that things are going on there. As the army going to come back in here for Magic, searching around for more units to kill. At this point, though, Skady, I mean, he's still sitting at full population in villages. So the raid here for Magic hasn't done all too much. And I imagine Skady here, where's the market going up? Market up in the corner here, perfect market. Not a perfect market, a little bit of a mattress market there, but a perfect positioning there for that for the trade route to start. As the unit's pushing forward here, and the villagers just simply going to be pulling away from this position. He needs to pull a little bit further than that because running onto this storehouse here, he's still going to get raided. Hephaestus is clicked up for Skady. Villagers going to be getting taken out. Skady's already got the favor here coming through as now the villagers pulling back into the town center as the town center going to get some damage done. Magic does not click the Toxotes correctly there onto the villagers as they mostly all get back. One villager down on that spot there as the army of Skady chasing these units around. Magic is really good at doing this. I'm not sure if this is a great idea or not, but he's just distracting the army away rather than trying to keep it alive there. He's just running away and trying to distract the population away while getting something else done on the map as the villagers push forward here for Skady. He needs to be thinking about fortresses here. One fortress, two fortresses need to come up. This is something that is really big in the in this matchup is, and if you don't do it, you're going to be falling behind a player that does it. It's just get your fortresses down. It's more important than anything else here in this game. And you really don't even need villagers on food at the moment for Skady, as we do. Ceasefire comes in, and now the fortress doesn't even get up. He will have his Hephaestus, but you hate to see it. A little bit of a timing gets caught out there. As we see the walls back up, the units are going to get caught into this position as Magic is trying to position his Toxotes in a way that allows these units to escape here. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Skady does get himself a small advantage here with that Plenty Vault. It's going to be a couple of seconds of having the extra resources that come in there, but he's still got to he's still got to get a lot of units out here. At the moment, he's really not spending the resources that he's got. He's got a little bit too much food in the bank, but he is spamming out those donkey caravans as well, whereas Magic is not doing so. Gets himself the early Forge of Olympus. I talk about this a little bit. I'm still on the idea that if you skip Forge of Olympus, you can get yourself out more Colossus, and you don't really need armory upgrades when you got Colossus, Helepolis, and Toxotes. Like, the armory upgrades don't really help that much in the fights. In fact, you probably don't even need Forge of Olympus full stop, because all you really need on your Toxotes are the weapons upgrades. Pierce upgrades don't matter because you can just garrison inside of Helepolis, and you don't even want that many Toxotes anyways. So you can just go Colossus and Archers, and maybe that's a way to go. But we are seeing the Helepolis are started here for Skady. Magic on the other side, getting his own fortresses up. He's getting his own armories up, getting himself those upgrades through as well. As we see Bellerophon is out for Skady here, and one fortress coming up. Do we see a second fortress for Skady anywhere at the moment? No, but he's taking this fight here. Bronze shields coming through for Magic nice and early. Copper weapons, copper mail coming through as well for Skady. He's missing, I think, a third armory somewhere. Yeah, he's not getting that pierce armor upgrades just yet, but one Helepolis is out, one Colossus is out. The Colossus coming through for Magic as well. More Colossus coming through for Skady. As I said, this is a really, really important composition. And I'm not sure if both of these players know this. Magic might not be quite up to speed with like the meta of the Zeus of the Greek war. But he will notice what Skady's doing here and maybe feel like he's not going to be able to win these fights moving forward. There is going to be access to a underworld as well, as the Colossus starting to move forward to take down this fortress. We do see Jason coming in. The Toxotes need to be microed at the moment, and the beautiful thing about this is if your opponent starts to target your Toxotes with like shift clicking, you can garrison all your Toxotes to prevent that shift clicking from working, and then they go back to targeting the Helepolis, and you can drop your Toxotes back out there again. As the fortress goes down, Bellerophon is out here. Where is the Bellerophon for Skady? Did it get picked off? It must have gotten picked off here. As Skady here, he's actually getting pushed back for the time being. I think that he's missing a little something at the moment in terms of production here, as he's pumping out those hoplites now as well. Copper weapons coming through, copper mail coming through, iron shields coming through as well. Skady now has got himself full copper here, but a little bit behind in my opinion on this one in terms of upgrades, as he does turn around and take this fight. The Helepolis are going to be tanking a lot of fire here from these units as the Bellerophon pushes through. Skady should target down that Bellerophon first and foremost, because that's the unit that's going to be killing off the Colossus here. And we do see that it starts to retreat there, and Skady holds for the time being. The game continues along. We see a Pegasus coming in onto this position, going to be going for an underworld play here. He does have the Helepolis advantage and the Colossus advantage here, but I'm sure that Magic is going to spot those Pegasus on the map and have an inkling in the back of his head what's going to come for him, as we see an underworld passage does come down. Going to be running through onto this location, jumping here. We see a fortress getting dropped down onto this position immediately here. Magic has got Ceasefire, I believe. Yes, he does have Ceasefire. He's also got Underworld. Not going to be using his Underworld to get back onto that position. Is he going for an attack elsewhere or not? No, he's just going to come over here as the Colossus immediately targeting down the Underworld passage of Magic, immediately taking that one out. There is still a Ceasefire remaining, but the units are coming through here. Champion Toxotes in for Skady. Skady's giving himself bronze weapons, iron weapons, bronze shields, everything else. Hands of Talos coming through as well. The Bellerophon gets taken down of Skady there not keeping good control of that one, as immediately dives in to try and take out the Colossus there, targeting as the Toxotes get a little bit distracted there. The villagers pushing forward on this position as well. Towers coming up on this position here for Skady, as well as Magic here. Seemingly he's dropping down in population. He's lost a house or two here as well. Lots of resources in the bank though for Magic. He needs to get himself out more fortresses, because now Skady's got 2 fortresses. He can start spamming out those Helepolis in a really, really big way. But the Colossus of Skady aren't doing what they should be here, because that Bellerophon is getting controlled immaculately there by Magic. And Magic could also go into Temple of Healing to get that one back up there, as the Helepolis are trying to trade into each other. Another Colossus is coming over here. The villagers can come over and repair this one back up, as the Bellerophon comes in, snipes down a villager, pulls back, has to wait 15 seconds for that recharge to come back in, but the Helepolis does get taken out, and it looks like Magic is able to hold here for the time being as the fortress goes down there. Nice play here, good defense from Magic. Skady not able to quite hold here, it seems. He's still at full population. The Helepolis are still doing a good job here, but it seems to me that this attack is not going the way that Skady would have really liked here in this game, as the Colossus does end up falling. Nice micro there from Skady. Manages to pick off the enemy Bellerophon here. More Heleopoli are coming through for Magic, but once the Colossus are in, they can really deal with these Heleopoli incredibly well. I think the reason, maybe one of the reasons why Magic's economy is so high here, does he have all upgrades? He's not full bronze, full iron here. He's forgotten his iron upgrades at the moment, whereas Skady here is, well, he's also not got all of his upgrades either, as Magic dives in onto these Toxotes to take them out. The town center of Magic is falling here, and Magic has to click that ceasefire button and call a quits there, as now Skady can just spam buildings up in on this location. He's still pumping out the Helepolis. He's still pumping out the Colossus here as well. Maybe a little bit short on the wooden, wait, what happened here? Where'd the trade route go? Looks like maybe Magic got in here and defended this, but Magic is in a really difficult position because he doesn't have a trade route at the moment. This is kind of allowing, I don't know if you could say right now that Skady isn't trading well, but I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't say he's trading badly at the moment, because he's got such good economy. And he's spending all of his resources. We see iron weapons, iron mail coming through, champion archers coming through as well. Skady needs to get those iron upgrades in as well here, as the towers coming through. I wouldn't mind seeing like a what's it called? Guard towers coming through here with those 3 watch towers up. That would be a big, big help. The village is going to be repairing up this this underworld passage as best as they can, as the town center over here going to be getting targeted down. You've got to get that Bellerophon to target down the Silver Colossus over here, as the Toxotes are kind of surrounding the Heleopoli on this position as well. Coinage is now coming through for Skady, as the underworld passage, I don't think it's going to be going down here. More units piling in onto this position. Another Bellerophon coming through here. The town center is still alive, as the Heleopoli is still doing a great job over here. Bellerophon dives in to try and take down Skady's Bellerophon, but the Colossus ends up getting taken out here. And I mean, you've got to be careful with this one. I think you've got to be a little bit more aware of your Bellerophon and how many resources he costs, because Temple of Healing is available for both players, and neither of them have quite utilized it here in this game, as the hoplites still pushing through here. We do see a handful of hoplites are out for Skady as well, which, I mean, personally, I'm not that big of a fan of. I don't think it's that important to make that happen. More fortresses, less villagers on food, more villagers on wood and gold. And he's already got a trade route, so he probably doesn't even need any villagers on food at the moment. So full wood and gold spam here. Lots of favor in the bank here as well, as the underworld passage getting targeted down. Another Helepolis comes through that underworld passage to help out, as Magic is in a really difficult position. No wood in the bank, tons of food. This is that problem that I was kind of alluding to with what I was talking about with Skady there. Magic doesn't need any villagers on food at the moment, because he just needs wood. So he should be taking the villagers off of food here, but he's not. He's just got 2,000 food in the bank here, as the Heleopoli rolling forward to take out this town center of Magic here at this point. More guard towers are coming in. More villagers are getting sent through here. Skady now getting himself iron mail, and the hoplites are actually getting some value here to take down the town center. Villagers getting pulled off of the wood line as well for Skady. Not for Magic, excuse me. Not really what he's going to be wanting to do there. To attempt to repair repair the fortified town center and take out the Helepolis here. But is it too little, too late, as Skady almost taken out the town center? One thing that Skady is missing here is engineers, is a really big technology to help out that Helepolis damage. Town center falls there for Magic, as he is going to be crumbling under the pressure with all these towers up. Does not look like anything else is going Magic's way here in this game, as he does decide to tap out here. Skady finds the win here against Magic with really, really good gameplay here. I mean, he's showed how important getting to Toxotes, Helepolis, and Colossi were here. Magic probably could have done it here himself. He had the fortress up on this location. He probably just needed to stop producing those hoplites, take villagers off of food, everyone over to wood and gold, spam Colossus, spam archers, spam Helepolis, and he probably would have been able to defend here on this position, in all honesty. Let's take a quick look at the post game. When that underworld happened, you can see Magic is like a significant amount of resources in front of Skady here, which should indicate that he should be able to defend on that position. But making the wrong units there does give Skady the dub. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting. Actually, before that, let's quickly take a look at this military unit loss count. You can see Skady has the unit loss count advantage here. Yes, he is building more expensive units than Magic, but it doesn't really matter, because in the end here, the economy goes into the favor of Skady because he went for that trade route. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.